In ISO 9001 and IATF-16949, there are a lot of terminologies, lot of definitions. People are familiar with those terminologies, but logical understanding is missing as per my experience while doing auditing and training. Let us have some example of those terminology and understand the logical difference. All the terminologies are well defined in ISO 9000 standard, which is a standard for terminology definitions being used in different organizations. So I would take first example of document and record. There are confusion. If I ask people, give me example of 5 documents and 5 records, confusion is there. First of all, record is a part of document. So any paper in prima facie is called document. Any paper, any format is nothing but document. Then what is record? Document is always taken as a reference. Document has a revision status. And record is always taken as evidence. Record has a retention period. Any book, any manual, any procedures, any work instructions, any plan, any schedule, all are documents because they are taken in the organization as a reference and they can be amended, revised, modified at any point of time whenever required. But on the basis of those documents, we make reports. As for example, drawing is a document because it can be revised, and on the basis of drawing, we are making inspection report. That inspection report is an evidence that work has been done referring drawing. Control plan is a document. You can revise it as per the requirement of a standard, as per the requirement of customer. But on the basis of control plan, if you make reports, that will become record. So this is the basic difference between document and record. Indian Constitution, Bharat ka Samvidhan, is a document. Indian Penal Code is a document. And on the basis of Indian Constitution, Indian Penal Code, the judgment of any judge is a record. You might have heard a lot of time that I want evidence. That means they are talking about record, not the document. Because records are the creation of any document. Document is a mother and record is its child. Let us take another example. Rework and repair. In IATF 16949, there are different clauses for repair and rework. Control of repair product, control of rework product. I have seen a huge misunderstanding between these two terminologies. I would differentiate it with a life example. You have never heard any motor mechanic, any scooter mechanic garage name as Jayant Rework Center. you will always find as Giant Repair Center. And this is the difference. Now I take you to any industry. Take example of welding. If there is excess welding, we do some grinding, filing. And if there is welding miss, we do welding again at that particular point. Now come to the definition. As per ISO 9000, rework is defined as action taken on any non-conforming product which may meet a specification, which may meet specified requirement. And repair is defined as action taken on any non-conforming product which may meet intended user's requirement. So now I will take you back to my life example. When I gave you an instance of motor mechanic, what motor mechanic does? Motor mechanic takes action on our non-conforming car to meet the intended user's requirement. What is our intended use? Car must get a start. Car must go on the road. In welding process, if there is excess welding, you are doing filing or grinding. The mark of grinding or filing would be there irrespective of the percentage or amount of that. But that mark would be there. That means when you are doing grinding or filing, you are not able to meet a specified requirement given in the drawing, given in any customer requirement. What you are doing, you are going to meet intended user's requirement. And if there is a welding miss and you are doing re-welding, that means you are able to meet the specified requirement. And yes, interestingly, after doing re-welding, again there is excess welding, then repair reoccur. So there are a lot of interesting life examples from which you can easily understand these terminologies. You can easily differentiate these terminology, which looks very same, very similar, but actually they are not. Now one more interesting example, and that is very, very popular. Corrective action and preventive action. People are making CAPA report, corrective action and preventive action report, defect analysis report, A3 sheet, YY analysis, corrective action report. There are different customers, different requirement, but logic is same. If I get headache, I take medicine, Disprin. Headache is gone because of the effect of that medicine. But it never gives guarantee that I will not get headache again. So what I do, I think over it, why I got headache. Then I get into the conclusion after a root cause analysis that I did not eat properly yesterday night, and due to that in the morning I got headache. Or maybe I took more pegs in a party and there is a hangover in the morning. So when I got the conclusion about the reason of the headache, I take decision that I would set a standard of my drinking, of my eating, that I would take my dinner, would take my lunch, would take my breakfast at a regular scheduled time. I would not cross my drinking limits, because as a person I know what is my limit. And in this manner, I would be able to avoid the reoccurrence of the headache. And if I narrate this story to my colleague, although they have not got headache, but they can in future. They listen me very carefully and they apply the same actions in their life, and they never get headache in future. Now come to the industrial scenario. If there is a non-conformity, customer wants, you want an immediate containment, temporary action, and that is called correction. If there is a burr in any metal, in any sheet metal part, then immediate action is, containment action is that you remove the burr by filing, grinding, or by deburring, something like that. And you satisfy your customer that, sir, we have removed the burr, you take our product again. There would be no non-conformity now. We have corrected it. Then as a team you think together, sit together and do a proper systematic why analysis. Why this burr occurred? Then you get some reason and you try to eliminate those reasons of that burr so that it may not reoccur on the same part. And when you found out that this action is effective, then you apply the same action, this effective action, to similar product and processes. Because if you are in metal industry, then burr is a very common non-conformity. It can happen to any other part, any other product, any other processes. Now come to the definition as per ISO 9000. Correction is a immediate action on the non-conforming product, and you should relate with your immediate action, deburring, removing the burr. Corrective action is an action taken to eliminate the causes of detected non-conformity in order to avoid their reoccurrence. So keyword is reoccurrence. So if you are doing a root cause analysis, why analysis, and you take action on those root cause, it will give you a path that it will not reoccur with respect to the same part. And after getting the effectiveness of this action, if you apply the same action to other product, then by definition, preventive action is action determined to eliminate the causes of potential non-conformity in order to prevent their occurrence. So keywords are potential and occurrence. That means proactive action is called preventive action. Mind my words. As per ISO 9000 definition, you cannot take any preventive action on non-conforming product. If you are ill, if product is non-conforming, you can only take correction and corrective action, because this non-conformity occurred only due to the failure of preventive action. A very interesting example of, the in any society park, in your neighbor, you will find people of different ages moving, roaming, running, doing yoga, pranayam, doing some exercise, walking. And the actual differentiation between these three terms you will understand from here. People at young age, you will find them having earphone, listening music and walking or jogging, or you can take example of doing gymming, going to gym. These people are example of preventive action. They have not got any non-conformity, any illness, any body complaint, but they are doing preventive action to avoid any potential non-conformity in their life. And then you will find other people having age of 40 plus, 50, 60, 70. You ask them, they will tell you the reason of their yoga, pranayam, jogging and walking. They will tell that doctor has prescribed us to do so, because they have already got the hypertension, blood pressure, sugar level higher than the specification. So they are trying to avoid the reoccurrence of their problem. So every terminology of industry of IATF 16949 can be easily understood by your own life example. QSCA Academy has different courses to enlighten these type of terminologies and understanding.